So you're on the fence about home Bitcoin mining. Your budget's not massive and you can't afford an insane power bill at the moment, but you still want to test the waters and learn more about Bitcoin mining. Well, I got you. In today's video, we're going to take a look at 5 home Bitcoin miners to help you get started. And oh, I'm giving away one in this video, so stay tuned. So 4 out of the 5 are solo Bitcoin lottery miners. Now I get it. You may have no clue what that means, so let me explain. Solo Bitcoin lottery miners are traditionally low watt, inexpensive home miners that actually earn you nothing per day. Like this one right here, the BitAxe Gamma 601. That's right. This Bitcoin miner makes nothing per day, but kind of like a lottery, if you hit a Bitcoin block, you win 3.125 Bitcoin. That's worth over $300,000 right now. Now, like the lottery, your chances are pretty wild, but the nice thing about this solo Bitcoin miner is you buy it once and you're done, unlike a traditional lottery ticket that you buy every day. Should we give away this Bitcoin miner? Today's video is proudly sponsored by Coin Mining Central, the UK's premier partner for ASIC mining hardware, available at coinminingsentral.com. With crypto mining hardware prices at historic lows, now is the perfect moment to invest in the ASIC miner you've been eyeing. Whether you're scaling up or just starting out, Coin Mining Central has you covered. For over 3 years now, I've trusted Coin Mining Central, a company with 6 years of industry experience, for their exceptional service and reliability, and I'm thrilled to continue partnering with their team. They consistently stock my go-to Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Kaspa, and Aleo ASIC miners at highly competitive prices, ensuring you get the best value for your investment. Worried about hardware issues? Rest easy. Every ASIC comes with a full manufacturer's warranty, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. For a trusted, established, and secure way to buy your next ASIC, look no further than Coin Mining Central. Visit them today using the link in the video description below and unlock $120 off your order with exclusive discount code TheHobbyistMiner. Plus, check out their new reward program for even more exclusive discounts and benefits. Power up your mining journey with Coin Mining Central today. Special thanks to today's video sponsor, Coin Mining Central, for giving away this BitAxe Gamma 601 solo Bitcoin miner. So how do you enter? It's easy. Leave a comment directly down below telling me where you would put this miner if you won. For me, I have mine back behind me here on my workbench. In 30 days, I'll pick one winner and ship this worldwide, covering the upfront cost. Good luck. All right, so first up is what you saw in the beginning, the BitAxe Gamma 601. So this is a super small, super lightweight, easy to set up solo Bitcoin miner. It actually has one Bitcoin chip inside of here. And I have multiple videos on this if you guys are interested in learning more and getting a deeper dive on this actual unit. So if you're looking at like thinking about like horsepower, that's kind of what we call hash rate within Bitcoin mining. This does 1.2 terahash is what this comes down to on the performance or horsepower side of things. And the nice thing is you're looking to like 13 to 15 watts total. So when you think about your home light bulb using 60 to 100 watts, this thing's barely using anything. It's like a super small fan that's on all the time. And this is a great avenue to get started. I have 2 of them behind me here. I'll throw up a clip real quick, running right now in my office. You can barely tell they're there. They're a great talking piece. They're a lot of fun, and it does the job for solo Bitcoin mining. Let's jump over to the computer real quick, take a closer look. All right, so jumping over to the computer here, we're over on Coin Mining Central's website, and they do have the BitAxe Gamma 601. Goes for currently right now about $217. So as I said, these are inexpensive, low watt solo Bitcoin miners. Now, is this unit going to make you rich day to day? No, as we talked about, it's not going to make you anything at all. But if you hit a Bitcoin block, that's a different kind of rich we're talking about right there. These are easy to set up. Once you've done one, you can set up one of these in about 5 minutes total. Now, just like the lottery, you kind of want to know, well, what are my chances? And I get it. For me, I set these things and forget them, but you'll want to know how it would do. So there's a great website out there called sololuck.com. I recommend that you bookmark this in your browser. And if you put in 1.2 terahash at the top, every day you have a 1 in 4,940,000 chance of hitting a Bitcoin block. Not anything amazing. Now in a year, it's a little bit better there. You can see 1 in 13,536. And if you hit that block, 3.125 is the reward. You're about a 342,000. That would be one heck of a payday. Now let's take a look at our second miner. Now, I'm not going to have every one of the miners we're talking about in my hand because some of them are awfully big. But here we have the Canaan Avalon Nano 3S. This is the second version. There was a earlier version of just the Nano 3. This is the Nano 3S. And this is a really, really slick miner. It's got a little LED screen here on it. It actually is marketed to be a heater as well because it does have fans in here and blows air over top of the actual Bitcoin miner to allow you to actually use this as a bedroom heater if you wanted to as well. But it's nothing too crazy. And it does have some LED lights here on the front of the unit. I'll throw up some B-roll I have from other videos. I've done a number of videos on this unit here. Well, let's go ahead and jump over to the computer and take a closer look at the Canaan Avalon Nano 3S. All right, so our second unit is the Canaan Avalon Nano 3S. And taking a closer look here, you will see the price is definitely more expensive than the last one we looked at. The last one was about $217. This one is upwards of $393 over on Coin Mining Central. Now, it does come at a horsepower or performance hash rate of 6 terahash, so significantly more than that 1.2 that we were looking at the Bidax Gamma. But with that additional power, the horsepower, does come the watts, coming in at 140 watts. So we went from 13 to 15 watts, now up to 140 watts. So now we're far more than a normal light bulb at 100 watts. We're now at 140. But regardless, 140 watts is not that much. This is something that you can run and you will barely see a difference on your electric bill. Now that in mind, 6 terahash does come with better chances of hitting that Bitcoin lottery. When we jump over to sololuck.com, we have 6 terahash in there. You guys can see our last miner, the Bidax Gamma, was 4,900,000 chance in a day. This is 1 in 988,000 in a day. And when we look at a year, it's 1 in 2,708. So with the additional hash rate does come better chances of hitting that Bitcoin lottery. Moving on to miner number 3 in our list. Check this thing out. So this is pretty much the big brother to the Bidax Gamma 601. This is the Nerd QX. I know these names are quite creative. And it looks just like the little one, but significantly larger. And it definitely comes in at a much bigger hash rate, coming in with this unit at 4.8. And I actually took this unit, had some fun with it, and went ahead and put it in my immersion tank here, which is dielectric fluid. Took off the fans, everything, put it in dielectric fluid and overclocked it. One of the great benefits of the Nerd QX and also the Bidax Gamma is there's a massive tinkerer community around this because of the open source software that's put on these. Allows you to overclock them, allows you to make tons of changes because it is open source. So you are able to play around with more. So if you are one of those tinkerers out there, I definitely recommend looking at one of these units because you do have the ability to overclock them. And I got mine upwards of 6 terahash in that immersion tank. All right, so taking a closer look at the Nerd QX++, this is a solo Bitcoin miner as well, coming in at that 4.8 terahash. Now scrolling down, we can see the watts though. The watts are a big selling piece here at 72 watts. That Nano 3S that we previously looked at, that unit came in at 140 watts, but at 6 terahash. So this one's 4.8 at 72 watts. And this unit is pretty slick. A lot of people there's actually a stand here. You can see you can get these stands, kind of show them off as a great showpiece back behind you. This unit is not that loud either. The fan on the front, it makes it pretty dang quiet. Now, as I said before, I do have a number of videos out there that are more deep dives on these units. So I would absolutely recommend you check them out in the video links down below. But taking a look at how this one does at 4.8, this one comes in pretty good. So this one is a 1 in 1,235,000 chance, because remember the last one was 6 terahash. This one's 4.8. So it's a little bit less on that power, on that performance. And then in addition to that, per year, it's 1 in 3,384. Now, all of these units that we've kind of talked about so far are great miners to learn on. When you're looking at these miners and you're looking at the price, what I like to tell people is the price of one of these miners, especially if you're brand new, never mined at all, never got into Bitcoin mining, this is almost the price to learn, the price to educate. So when you look at it, you're like, man, $542, that's a lot of money. It absolutely is. But that's going to be the price for you to learn about Bitcoin mining even more and take that first step without taking too much risk, without over leveraging yourself. Let's move on to number 4, which is the Canaan Avalon Mini 3. So I do not have one of these to hold up here, but I do have plenty of B-roll from other videos that I've done with the Mini 3, and I'll throw that up right now. So as you guys can see, this one does not look like a traditional miner. It actually is marketed as a space heater that also earns you Bitcoin. And Canaan is a company that we actually talked about that actually manufactures that Nano 3S, that small unit there with the screen on the front and the LED. Same company that designs this unit. Now, this unit is very well designed. This is marketed as a heater, and a lot of people I've seen use these in garages or in sheds or in basements or in bedrooms during the fall and winter to substitute their entire heater being on because of how much heat this unit actually puts out. Now, with the Mini 3, the big thing to keep in mind is this can be used as a solo miner or as a full-blown Bitcoin miner. So the Canaan Avalon Mini 3 heater, as we talked about, also listed as a Bitcoin miner, comes in at 37.5 terahash, significantly more than the 6 and the 4.8 that we talked about previously with the previous models. But the price tag reflects it. Now we are over 1,000. We were looking at about 542 for the Nerd QX. Now we're over 1,000 at 1,247. And we've jumped significantly, going from 4.8 all the way up to 37.5. And as the hash rate increases, so does the questionability of, do you solo mine with this, or do you do something called traditionally pool mine, which is where you get a daily payout in Bitcoin? Very different than that solo lottery mining that we talked about previously. Now, this unit does have a multitude of different modes on it. You can see there's some pretty cool, oh, look at that image. That one's pretty cool. That's actually the bottom side of it that has a filter as well. But when we go ahead and scroll down, 37.5 terahash for that power, but the horsepower, sorry, but the power comes in at 800 watts. So now we're not just talking about a little 13 to 15 watts. We're talking about 800 watts. You're going to see this on your electric bill. It's going to cost you a few bucks, but you kind of have to decide, is it worth it? And what I mean by that is if we go over and look at daily profitability with this unit, yes, we're now talking about getting payouts every single day in Bitcoin. You would end up getting paid out in Bitcoin about $2.27 a day into your Bitcoin wallet every single day because you're running this miner. Very traditional to what you think about with Bitcoin mining. Now, based off your electric rate though, because we have to keep that in mind, it could run you $1.50 a day in electric. But if you go over and look at Solo Luck and you decided to solo mine with this or lottery mine with this, now we're talking about a big difference. At 37.5 for our total terahash, you're 1 in 158,097 per day and 1 in 434 per year of hitting that Bitcoin block worth over $340,000. Let's look at our last home Bitcoin miner. So this miner number 5, is not out yet and will be released any day now. And most resellers out there, like Coin Mining Central, are taking pre-orders for these. So go take a look. There's all different companies out there, but I highly recommend looking at Coin Mining Central. I've used them time and time again, especially for pre-orders. So this one we're talking about is the Canaan Avalon Q. This is one of the first big boy home Bitcoin miners on the market. Let's take a closer look. So here's the Canaan Avalon Q. As I said, this unit is not out yet. It is shipping and releasing any day now based off my conversations with Canon. but I highly recommend you take a closer look because we're a long way from $200 at a price tag of $2,034 total. But what do you get for $2,000 investment in a home Bitcoin miner? Well, this thing looks just like a computer, and it kind of is. It'll sit in the corner in your living room or in your office, and it will mine Bitcoin for a daily profit, because I don't think you're going to solo mine with this after putting in the capital of $2,000. But with that comes the watts, which comes the heat. Scrolling down, this unit does 90 terahash for the horsepower, or the hash rate, coming in at 1,674 watts. The Mini 3 was 37.5, coming in at 800. This unit is 90, coming in at 1,674. We're talking about some serious power here. It also makes you question, can you even plug this into an outlet in your living room, or is this going to pop your breaker? So you definitely have to look, like, do you have a 15 amp or a 20 amp? Where are you going to put this thing? Either way, though, the nice thing about this unit is it's quiet, it's silent, it mines and earns Bitcoin every single day, and you can kind of put this wherever as a home miner. Taking a closer look at profitability, like we talked about on the last one, this guy, though, is bringing in per day $5.43 in Bitcoin every single day into your Bitcoin wallet. So now we're starting to talk about some real money here when you look at it. The nice thing is about this unit is that, as I said, it's quiet versus a traditional big boy Bitcoin miner that is going to be, one, even more expensive, use even more power, and be crazy loud, which you don't want to deal with that. Now, with that 1,600 watts comes additional power consumption. This unit's going to run you about $3.20 a day in power. So you're definitely going to see this on your power bill. So that's 5 home Bitcoin miners in just a few minutes that I do highly recommend. I own all of them. I use all of them in different ways. Some of them I solo mine with, and some of them I do pool mine with for the profitability. Now, that Bidax Gamma 601, I do think this is the perfect one for beginners to get started. It's not going to break the bank when it comes down to upfront cost, and the watts per day is going to be nothing crazy. You're barely even going to notice it. So go over it, check this out over on Coin Mining Central. I have links to all of those Bitcoin miners directly down below. Please go check them out. Don't forget to enter the giveaway, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.